Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the coronavirus that causes COVID-19 has mutated and changed, resulting in different variants of the virus. What is the implication of this trend, and what more should people do to stay safe? This and more on Panorama, coming to you from the Sokoto Network Center. I am Asmao Habibu Shagadi. President Muhammadu Buhari is advocating a UK-African Union free trade deal that will revive intra-trade among Commonwealth countries for improved economic development of Africa. Benny Adams takes us through the president's aspirations for a prosperous Africa.
African nations have for so many years been into economic partnership with Europe, entering into bilateral agreements that seem lopsided as Europe erects high tariff barriers to goods manufactured and processed in Africa, thereby stunting job creation among other trade policies intended to benefit just Europe. President Muhammadu Buhari believes this trend can change, with the United Kingdom becoming the first country in the world to sign a memorandum with the African Union's 54-country continental free trade area.
The Memorandum of Understanding falls into two broad areas of the AfCFTA, namely trade in goods, and in particular customs cooperation, transit, and trade facilitation. It also falls in the category of other areas of our work, including facilitating investment promotion in Africa through the use of the AfCFTA as a tool and a catalyst for investment.
Meaning that this singular action should lead to a UK-Africa Union free trade deal, one made with parity, considering Africa's $3 trillion combined GDP, which is equivalent to that of the United Kingdom, the world's fifth largest economy.
And the whole operation provides a tidy return for investors both in Nigeria and in the UK. And it's a great example of what the modern UK-Africa partnership looks like. An exchange of ideas, equipment and finance to solve common problems. A relationship that benefits us all and makes a lasting difference.
More to this is the fact that 19 Commonwealth nations' laws are built on the principles of English jurisprudence, which the President sees as a common platform from which to better align regulations on investment and certification.
Our location, our natural resources, our population, and our regulations are there for all to see. Nigeria on its way to becoming a leading industrial and trading nation in Africa.
President Buhari is also of the view that African unity will give opportunity to Britain to practice the free trade it has always preached, which he expressed optimism that it will lead to job creation in Africa as an advantage and not a threat to the Western world. 2 years after the United Kingdom's departure from the European Union, President Buhari, on behalf of Africa, seeks a new settlement with Britain, one based on cooperation in fairer and freer trade. He concludes with the optimism that, being the first mover amongst the G7 to seek a trade deal with Africa, the UK is positioning itself to secure the very best of terms and stands able to revive intra-Commonwealth trade, replenish its relations with the fastest growing market in the world, as well as tackle the causes of economic migration and create jobs and wealth that boost rather than threaten those at home. In Abuja, Benny Adams.
President Olusegun Obasanjo has told leaders of the major opposition People Democratic Party that he won't return to the party, but will rather play the role of an elder statesman towards the entrenchment of a peaceful and more prosperous Africa. This was while playing host to a PDP delegation led by the national chairman Iyorchia Ayu in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The delegation that visited former President Obasanjo include 4 former governors and members of the PDP National Working Committee. Chief Obasanjo reminded the delegations that he ceased to be a member of PDP on the day he tore his membership card and vowed not to be a member of any political party any longer. He, however, promised to continue to champion only things that would further promote the unity, peace, and progress of the country.
And there's nothing that will bring me back to partisan politics. But I will always be interested in what is good for Nigeria. And anybody who wants to have my advice, I will unstintingly give it in the best interest of Nigeria and in the best interest of Africa.
All of us have a responsibility to this country to keep this country united and build it to be the biggest country in Africa and the world.
The PDP National Chairman Yocha Ayu emphasized that the party would always require Chief Obasanjo's fatherly advice towards governance in Nigeria. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The youth wing of All Progressive Congress APC is advocating for inclusiveness of young people in February National Convention of the party and after the 2023 general elections. This is the position of the Progressive Youth Movement of the party, who converge in Calabar in continuation of the movement nationwide tour to advocate for youth inclusiveness. Ode Alenyo completes the report.
The Progressive Youth Movement says it will continue to canvass, mobilize electorate for victory of the All Progressive Congress APC come 2023, and passionately appeal to their leaders to carry the youth along in position of authority.
We want to create jobs. We want to take away insecurity. We know how to engage our generation, but we're not going to engage them on the sideline.
We're going around the entire country. We're the only youth group going around the country because we are determined to achieve success.
It's an opportunity to come and encourage young people to take part in leadership and to also encourage the organization that has taken its South-South town hall meeting to Cross River.
Young people are given the position to equally manage and administer credible, sensitive political positions in Nigeria. Things will be better for good.
They challenge youths who have what it takes to step out to aspire for any political office of their choice and not to allow themselves to be used to perpetrate violence.
We are one people who are saying if there is one person who is a young man, a young woman out there who has the boldness and the courage to come out and say, I have what it takes.
We have the numbers. It's a democracy, so it's very easy.
That we go to the drawing board, reorganize ourselves, get more serious, and get more committed.
The Progressive Youth Movement South-South Town Hall meeting was on the team, ready to lead now or never. In Calabar, Ode Alenyo, NTA News.
National Executive Committee of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has suspended its national chairman Olu Ogunloye and secretary Shehu Musa Agaba. The party's deputy national chairman, North Abdul Ahmad Ishaq and Simon Adeshina have been appointed substantive national chairman and secretary respectively. Shehu Gwanara reports.
The year 2022, being a pre-election year, is already living up to its billing as one that will serve up many political maneuvers in different parties. For the Social Democratic Party, SDP, some political housekeeping has begun in the form of renewed intra-party jostling. Some party members, led by its Deputy National Chairman North, Abdul Ahmed Ishaq, organized a National Executive Committee meeting.
Dr. Olu Agoloye, the SY Acting National Chairman of the Social Democratic Party, and Alhaji Shehu Musa Gabam, the Makaman Tilde, the LSY National Secretary of the Social Democratic Party, by the strength and the powers of the National Executive Committee, this day, stand suspended.
The allegedly suspended National Chairman and Secretary, Olu Agunloye and Shehu Gaban, reacted to the decision of the purported National Executive Committee meeting.
This is a null event. This is an illegal event. This is completely null and void. I can say to you categorically that the man called Alhaji Abdul Ahmed Ishaq had been suspended since the 17th of January after an NWC meeting.
Absolutely, he doesn't have those powers. And those who attended, one are not NWC members. We have chairmen in the 37, including FCT. The chairmen that have attended, they are not more than 4. All others have not attended.
The party stakeholders have urged its leadership to work in unity to impact the nation politically. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Vice President Atiku Abubakar has called on leaders at all levels to take issues of insecurity more serious in the interest of national development. The Wazir of Adamawa was on condolence visit to Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, who also received the Senate President, Senator Ahmad Lawal, and other dignitaries on condolence visit at his Sokoto residence. Dalhata Abdullahi has the report.
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was accompanied by the former Governor of Adamawa State, Boni Haruna, and former Senator Abdul Ningi. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said he was in Sokoto to condole with Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal over the death of his brother, and also to console the government and the people of Sokoto State over the scores of innocent lives lost to banditry in parts of the state. He said banditry and insurgency, which have been of critical concern in the northern region, requires holistic approach by all.
I think it is up to our leaders to put their heads together, political leaders, religious leaders, traditional leaders, to put their heads together and find a solution to this problem.
Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal thanked the former vice president for his show of love and concern. In a related development, the Senate President Ahmad Lawal has paid condolence visit to Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal over the death of his elder brother, the late Wazirian Tambuwal. The Senate President was accompanied on the condolence visit by the Yobe State Governor and Chairman of the APC Convention Planning Committee, Maima Labuni, among other senators. Senate President Ahmad Lawal said he was in Sokoto for the condolence on behalf of the two chambers of the National Assembly.
And we pray that Almighty Allah will repose the soul of our brother in Al-Jannat al-Firdaus.
And the people of Sokoto and government of Sokoto, we cannot thank you enough for taking this very, very journey to come to Sokoto personally, the two of you and your delegation, to condole us.
Similarly, the Chairman Senate Committee on Defense, Senator Aliyu Magatakar Dawamako, has condoled with Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal over the death of Wazirin Tambuwal, Muhammad Bello. Senator Wamako was accompanied on the condolence visit by the Minister of Police Affairs, Muhammad Umaigari Dingyadi, Senator Ibrahim Abdullahi Gobir, and the Executive Secretary, Police Trust Fund, former Deputy Governor Ahmad Aliyu. Also on condolence to Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal were the Emir of Anka, Alhaji Tahiru Muhammad Ahmad, the Emir of Mafara, Alhaji Muhammad Bello Barmu, and the Zamfara State Deputy Governor Mahdi Aliyu Gusau. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
There is more on Panorama. Please stay with us. Now to our discussion segment, which is on COVID-19 mutations, implication, and ways of protection. And I have with me in the studio Professor Muhammad Bellerima, who is the President, Nigerian Society for Microbiology, and also President of Society for Biotechnology. Sir, you are welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much.
So far, the World Health Organization has identified about 10 variants of COVID-19 being monitored. Experts also say the variants are likely to keep emerging until the whole world is vaccinated against the disease. So what could be responsible for this trend?
Yeah, I think basically the ability of the virus to really undergo mutation is not a stable virus. The genetic material which it used in the synthesis of what we call its virulence factors keep on changing. And it's quite unfortunate that a mutation which we know to be very rare, it's actually more frequent in this kind of virus, and that's why the concern. It changes because naturally when an infection results, the body of an individual have the capacity to respond by triggering the immune system to produce antibody substances. Now, these antibody substances are specific to the kind of antigen, that causes their production. But with mutation, you realize that the virus will now evade the immune system, even though the antibodies are produced, but they will not be able to bind to the virus and neutralize it. So I think the trend is worrisome, is serious, and it's of major concern, especially because the economic implications, on the countries is enormous. So I think it's a very serious matter.
Okay. So, sir, what is the impact on the people?
Yeah, the people too. The impact you can see from the data we are seeing from relevant authorities like the NCDC in Nigeria. Many are hospitalized, many are infected, and some mortality are being recorded. So the human population will continue to be ravaged with the virus unless something drastically, is done by the government. Thank you.
Okay, in spite of the dangers posed by the COVID-19, it seems people are relaxing on the protective measures. What is your message on this?
Well, my message is that the virus is real. People should know there are a lot of theories that people don't believe in the virus. I think the virus is real, and it is causing a lot of fatalities. And so people should really take responsibility of protecting themselves. I think the government is trying from the public health measures by providing vaccines, and a lot of vaccination schedules are going on in all the states of the country. It is good for people also to carry out the social measures. I mean, that is wearing of well-fitted mask. When I say well-fitted mask, it has to cover the nose and the mouth, and it has to fit on the face. Otherwise, if you allow any side, the same virus or air can carry it, and so on and so forth. Social distancing, because in spite of the directive from government and relevant authorities, people are still gathering in numbers and so on and so forth. So it is important to observe social distancing. It is important to all these non-pharmaceutical measures. I think these are what people can do. So I encourage people to continue to observe all these things in order to prevent themselves. It is important for one to prevent himself so that he can protect the family and the immediate community where he's socializing. Yeah.
Okay, the World Health Organization keeps emphasizing that no one is safe unless everyone is safe, and there is ongoing vaccination against COVID-19. But some people are yet to be convinced to access the service. What is your take on this?
No, actually, not just SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most viral diseases are not easily curable. So the best form of protection is vaccination. You can understand that the vaccines are prepared from the extracts of the virus itself. So it is just like introducing a harmless extract with the same antigenic property into your body in order to elicit some immune response from your body. Now, this immune response is very important because the moment the immune system is elicited, the antibody production takes place, and after the antibody combined with the virus, there will be some that will remain to serve as police antibodies, so to say. That is to say, the immune system has a memory. This is in case you come across the infection, natural infection, either through travels or through interaction. the immunity is already there to take care of it. So vaccination is a very important, process. So I encourage people to submit themselves for vaccination. It is true that when you receive a first jab, there may be some changes in your body. You experience fever, weakness of the body. I experience it actually. But we should all know that the immune system of the body is actually discriminatory. So whatever is not used to the body, it will fight against it. And that's what is really happening on receiving the first jab.
Sir, I really wanted us to talk more on this, but time is not on our side. So we thank you so much for coming and shedding more light on this issue.
So thank you very much.
Now back to our news. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has confirmed 29 new cases of COVID-19. A breakdown shows that Lagos State has 27 cases, while Kano and Rivers have 1 case each. This brings the total number of cases in the country to 251,599, with 2,225,946 cases discharged, while 3,112 deaths were recorded. 4 states of Anambra, Bauchi, Plateau, and Sokoto recorded 0 cases. UNICEF, in collaboration with SUBEB, has trained 300 girls drawn from 10 local government areas of Sokoto State on menstrual management hygiene. This came to the fore as the girls called on the wife of Sokoto State Governor, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, to appreciate her. Sheikh Muhammad Datti completes the report.
These were the 300 students trained under the UNICEF project, Girls for Girls. The students were trained on menstrual management hygiene. The training done by UNICEF in collaboration with Sokoto Universal Basic Education Board also focused on physiology and psychology of menstruation.
We taught them about the taboos and myths that is associated with menstruation generally. And also they are trained on how to become self-confident, and also they were trained on the rudiments and skills of peer mentoring.
Wife of Sokoto State Governor Maria Aminu Waziri Tambuwal called on the students to use the knowledge they acquired during the training and relayed same to their peers. She charged women to take personal hygiene seriously. She further challenged the students to passionately pursue their ambitions, shun truancy, and be good ambassadors of girls for girls at all times. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
We now join our sports desk for an update.